Hey, I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to make a custom molek syntez level, how to hack the exe file to make a custom level. Um, I don't plan on editing this at all. I don't have a script or anything, just because like I have a lot of Factorio I want to play later. But it's also been a little bit since I've done it, so you'll have to bear with me as I remember things. Um, But before I get into any of that, I just want to talk a little bit about how the quote unquote format works. Um, I'm not for this example. I'm not going to be worried about like making sure the chemistry is correct. I'm just going to be drawing atoms or whatever. But just so that you know how to kind of think about it, when the game generates a level, it creates like I believe it's called a hex grid object, which will be what you're looking at right now, which is a hex grid, and you can create an atom on it. So I'll just do a carbon. That's not a very good C. There we go. And you can think of it as there's like a cursor here now on the C that was just created on the carbon. And then you move the cursor, and at the same time as you move the cursor, you define what kind of bond that is. So say I want to go here to place another atom, and I want it to be a single bond. I would just move the cursor with a single bond, and then create a new atom. And then I might move the cursor up here with a double bond and create a new atom, right? And this gets a little bit tricky when talking about things such as, I don't know, something like this. Which, again, I'm not worried about the chemistry, whatever. You might think that something like this would be impossible to do. But there is a function that kind of moves the cursor back one step. So you would create this atom, and then go here with a single bond, create this, go here, whatever, and you say you take this path, then this function that moves the cursor back one, you'd call it twice, so it moves back here, and then you move the cursor up here, create an atom, move the cursor, create an atom. And that's basically how that works. So let's get into actually doing it. To start off with, I'm going to go to my program files, x86, Steam apps. I'm just finding the actual executable file for the game. It's right here. Don't worry about these two copies I've already made. They're just from stuff I've done playing around with it before. Just take your regular molek syntez exe, just copy it. There you go. You have a backup now. That's pretty important. We're going to be using a program called dnspy, which I will I will put a link to it in the description of this video when I upload it. If I remember. If I don't, yell at me in the comments or something. When it loads, it's not usually this slow. Hello? There we go. Oh, and I opened it twice. Great. Cool. I've actually already made a mistake. You need to find dnspy x86 because it's a 32-bit game. That's important. So you're going to go to open and just open up moleksyntez.exe. And you might notice that a bunch of this stuff is all obfuscated. Don't worry about it. That's okay. What you're looking for is atom type. This is just how to find the correct file. I don't know. Just open up atom type. It doesn't matter. Right click it. You can go to analyze. Go to used by. And then one of these is the right file. I don't think it's this one. Oops. Okay, yeah, it'll be this file. And don't get too attached to any of the specific names. Like this is, equal sign QLHPZ. Like that's going to change with every update. Unfortunately, not a lot you can do about that. But if you have a file that looks kind of like this, you probably found the correct thing. So in each of these, let's go to one that's like not a tutorial, I guess. Well, actually, first let's pop open the game and decide what we want to modify. Let's do... I think nitrous oxide is the simplest one that's not a tutorial level. Oh, what? Oh no, spoilers. Yeah, so it's a nitrogen, a double bond, a nitrogen, a single bond, and an oxygen. And that's kind of nice because it shows you a lot of different things. But let's say that we want it to look more like... Actually, let's pop this back open. We currently have... let's just get rid of all of this. We have nitrogen double bonded to nitrogen single bonded to oxygen. Let's... I know that this is going to be unsolvable, but just for the sake of example, let's have a carbon there also. We'll say that we want to just add a carbon. So, to do that, we're going to find nitrous oxide, which is right here. And this line is the one you're looking for. This is what actually defines the level. So here it creates the hex grid object. This function creates a nitrogen that has 0 hydrogens bonded to it. This moves the cursor to the right by 1 horizontally and 0 vertically. Then we create an oxygen. Oh, that's interesting the way they did it, actually. I didn't notice this before. Because then, here's the function that takes the cursor back a step. Here's the function to make a double bond to the left. Yes, this is moving the cursor to the right with a single bond to create the oxygen. This goes back. This... Sorry, it was done in a slightly different way than I expected them to. But you can see that the way that this level is built is it has a nitrogen. It creates a single bond to the right, creates an oxygen. Then it takes a cursor from the oxygen back to the nitrogen. It creates a double bond to the left, and then it creates a nitrogen. Okay. And those steps are create the nitrogen, go to the right with a single bond, create the oxygen, take the cursor back, go to the left with a single bond, create a nitrogen. Or with a double bond, create a nitrogen. So, we want to make our extra carbon atom. The way that we're going to do that is to just like take this line, whatever. We want to go to edit IL instructions. And you will see this whole thing. We're starting after new object, instance void, whatever. And then it ends at this call to atom soup. So everything from here to here is what you want to edit. And you can take all of this out and just like insert your own instructions. I'm not going to do that because it takes forever. Don't worry about it. So we know that we want to go back. Well, we're just going to be adding to the end of this. We don't need to change anything in the middle. So we want to take the cursor back a step. So we need to find the function that does this. Luckily, this is very easy. It's the only function that doesn't take any arguments. So we're looking for equals QPF. And that's going to be right here. Equals QPF. We're going to copy this instruction. And we're going to paste it right before the call to the atom soup class thing. Paste after selection. It's right there. And then we're going to move our cursor up and to the right and create a single bond as we do that. So, hold on. Am I in the wrong? No, okay, I'm not. Sorry, I thought I clicked the wrong thing. So, we know that the function to create a single bond is this QLH1. So I'm going to find that. QLH, there we go. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it after what we just did. However, this function takes arguments. Oh, whoops! I actually pasted it before instead of after by accident. That's fine. I'll just paste after selection instead. There we go. Now this takes arguments. It takes 2 integer arguments that have to be on the stack before it. That's really simple to do because we just take this. We'll just paste it after selection. Paste it after selection. If you click here, you can see these ldc.i4. Whatever instructions. All these do is push an integer onto the stack. There's also this one for if you want an integer other than those ones. You can just make it whatever you want. And there is a -1 as well. But in this case, we want, I believe horizontal is 1 and vertical is -1, but I might be getting my coordinate system wrong because it has been a while, admittedly. And with those 2 arguments on the stack, we create this bond up and to the right. And if I've gotten those coordinates wrong, I'll come back and fix them after. Then we want to create a new atom type, or a new atom, excuse me, and that appears to be this QMQ. So we're looking for a QMQ. Here it is. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it after this call that we just made. This one also takes arguments. We want this one to be a carbon. However, the atom type is not. It's not clear what number that refers to, but it is just an enumerator, so that does just refer to a number under the hood. So we can't actually find it with this window open, so I'm just going to hit OK. Oh yeah, whoops. Whoops, don't do that. Oh Christ. Yeah, don't do that, I broke it. Well, anyway, let's figure out what it is. Carbon is 6. Carbon's going to be 6. I'm going to have to do it again. But that's fine. I'll go over it again. And repetition helps understanding, I guess. So I want to take the cursor back 1, and that was QPF. I want to take the cursor up and to the right with a single bond. So a single bond was QLH. Over QLH, there it is. Copy. Paste after selection. But that takes arguments, so copy. And I believe it's 1 - 1, but hex grid coordinates are hard, so I don't remember for sure. Then we want to add an atom, which is QMQ. And again, this takes arguments. This time, our first argument is our atom type, which we just decided that carbon is 6. And our second argument is how many hydrogens it should have. Let's just say 0. I think that should be good. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to save all. You can just hit OK, that's fine. Let's boot up the game. Okay, well, I made a mistake. I guess the y coordinate is flipped from how I thought it was. But other than that, you can see, this works. I don't really have a lot else to say, to be honest. It's just kind of like find a level that already does the thing you want, and just copy instructions from there. And you kind of have to memorize, how exactly the obfuscation worked out. But Other than that, it's not so bad. It's kind of tedious. It's time consuming, but you know, it's kind of fun also. Ask me questions if you have any, I guess. And I think that's all I got. I'm not gonna bother fixing the coordinate thing. You can just make the -1 a 1. That's okay. But yeah, have fun making levels, I guess. Oh, please don't use this for evil. I don't want it to be on my conscience that somebody like made a hard level like into just one of the precursors so they can output it 6 times a cycle or something. I don't even know if that would work, but like if it does, don't do it. That sucks. All right. That's all I've got. See ya.